first of all, thank you very much for agreeing to do this.
It's a pleasure.
Agreeing to do this interview.
So today, a bit of twisting, but anyway.
Yeah. So today we're meeting with Mr. Rob Sexton, who is the co-founder of the brand new BMW M Showroom, which is, correct me if I'm wrong here, but the second largest in the world.
I think the actual showroom is the largest in the world.
Okay.
As an M franchise, there's one bigger than, but then they've got the extensions where we use other parts of our business as the workshop and that as well.
Yeah.
As the M showroom, it's the biggest in the world.
Which is
and
incredibly impressive.
Yeah, it's the benchmark for the world, what you actually see here today.
Because this dealership is obviously recognized as the second biggest, but South Africa itself sells the fifth most M cars of anywhere in the world.
Yes.
Now, I guess the question is, if we've got the biggest or second biggest showroom, is that a statement of intent? Are we now really trying to push the M brand?
Yes, we are. You know, obviously, to us, not only to us, to the world, basically, the M is the benchmark of a performance vehicle worldwide. Okay. The enthusiasm of the South African public within the luxury segment is one thing, but within the performance cars is one of the best in the world. So we're looking a little beyond that as well, because within this segment and our particular focus on the cars, we expect this area to grow fairly substantially.
Which is impressive considering the economic climate, so everyone's downscaling and so on. But if you guys are really pushing forward, there must be something.
Well, what we've actually found, even during these times, there are a lot of entrepreneurs that are doing very, very well. And they're successful businessmen in their own right.
Yes.
And those enthusiasts are the people that subscribe to the values of the in-performance cars.
Right.
So that market is growing, and that segment of the population is growing as well.
So I guess that leads on to the next question. And what is it that makes a BMW M car so special? What is it about the M?
I think I mentioned earlier, it is the benchmark for performance vehicles. Irrespective, it's still classed as the benchmark for that type of car. And then, relative to all BMWs, they are being a performance car, it's still such a pleasure to drive. And it answers to a variety of people, you know, for the real enthusiast who likes the manual boxes, to somebody who likes the performance but just the luxury as well. And it's somebody like me.
Yeah, I have to say personally, I find the fact that BMW still offers a proper manual gearbox an incredible advantage and draw card for me as a petrol head, and probably for petrol heads around the world.
That's exactly.
Yeah, very much so. When other manufacturers are stopping to offer a manual box in their performance model, you know, that's a sort of statement of moving away from sort of the purist. Whereas BMW doesn't.
They still do that, absolutely.
Yeah.
Brings us on to what are you currently driving?
To me, the finest of them all, obviously personal, is the M6.
Okay.
The M6 Coupe.
Yeah.
I've just been chatting to the guys here about my personal preferences.
Yeah.
And I alternate between Cape Town and Johannesburg.
Okay.
I have an M6 up here.
Okay.
I have an M4 down in Cape Town, which is currently here.
Okay.
And I'm just going through a little transition at the moment where I'm driving an X5.
Okay.
It's for a specific reason.
Yeah.
But I will definitely go back to the M6.
Why the M6 exactly? Like, what about the M6 for you is?
The performance of the car.
Okay.
And I think it's because of its size and that it's a little bit understated, but its performance is unbelievable. But you have exceptional luxury in driving that car. You know, it drives like a saloon vehicle with the performance of any of the other M's.
Yeah.
You know, you accelerate that car, you really understand what it's all about.
No, absolutely. I was at the M2 launch the other day.
Yes.
And got the opportunity to drive back to back a whole host
range of the cars.
Yeah, and the M6 just pure speed wise was above everything else.
I
It
think
was
just
so
starting
incredible.
it in the morning and sitting in it for 2 minutes is fantastic.
So does it go without saying that you think the M6 is the best M car ever produced?
For me.
For you, yes.
For you.
For me, yes.
Okay.
That's the ultimate for myself, yeah.
And how long have you been with BMW? Has this been a long relationship? Have
Yeah,
you...
maybe you can take us through some
Yeah.
the background to some easy
Yeah.
water.
Okay. Krista and I have been together for over 25 years.
Wow, okay.
Okay. I've got a financial background. I knew Krista when he was still an Appy technician.
Okay.
Okay. I had an opportunity then to acquire a BMW franchise. Krista and I joined forces, and we moved over to that point, and we were very, very successful in the more northern suburbs of Sandton.
Okay.
We started off with Lyndhurst,
Yes.
and then we acquired at the time, which was Lyndhurst Auto Hyde Park,
Right.
which was initially a BMW Niederlassung outlet.
Okay.
So we took over, and at that point, we controlled. I want to go. I'd like to say as close to 2 weeks. We actually controlled 12% of BMW's new car market at the time. It was very substantial.
Yeah, that is huge.
We had in those days, just in one of our outlets, we were servicing more than 100 cars a day.
That's a lot to get through.
We were sourcing cars all over,
Yeah.
we actually had a driver's department which had 23 drivers.
Just to go and pick
Just
up
to
cars.
pick up and yes,
Gee.
That's unbelievable.
That is
it
amazing.
was, but the rules were different at the time.
Yeah.
We were actually booking cars in the reception areas of banks, etc. We bring back up to 10 cars at a single time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yes.
So, I mean, this is obviously now quite a
Okay.
while ago
Yes.
that you were doing this. And
Well-
South Africa, I've noticed from my fairly limited travels around the world, but I've noticed BMW as a brand in South Africa it commands a huge amount of A, respect, and B, loyalty.
Yes.
And I was wondering what you guys do to try and cultivate and differentiate BMW as a brand to continue, servicing your customers and keep that strength between customer and brand.
Okay. That was our kickoff, and we were there till 2005.
Yeah.
Okay, within 2 branches. We on-sold one of the branches, which is today Sandton Auto.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at the time, BMW had a restriction as to how much of the market share you could control. And at that particular point, it was 5 or 6%. So there was a little bit of pressure, and we moved
Yes.
around. We then, because the philosophy has remained the same, we listed, and then we sold into CMH.
Okay.
That corporate environment wasn't really what we were about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You subscribe to different values. When you're within a corporate.
Yes.
So when we sold to CMH, we weren't allowed within 80 kilometers of Johannesburg. This wasn't BMW offered us this as an open site. It was greenfield at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was the original Zambezi waterfront.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Which wasn't too successful.
Yeah.
Okay. And we just saw a very different opportunity here. We looked at it as a motor city, and it was a destination. We decided we'd create a destination for the BMW customer. People that subscribe to all those kind of values. However, in Johannesburg, which are things that we carried over here, was our businesses are very, very personal. And we've always thought out of the box. We were of the first, what became BMW On Call and things like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
We ran our own 24-hour
On-call
service,
Yeah.
which was then taken into BMW. And It was that type of thing.
Yeah.
We were available to customers 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, irrespective of what it was.
Which is pretty incredible because often working hours. And
Our customers, the people that ran those service cars, our customer base had the cell numbers of those technicians, and you could call them anytime.
So you could call an actual technician, not the service station.
Even if it
or
was a
something.
simple thing.
Yeah.
Because we didn't really restrict it to breakdowns. People wake up on a Sunday and for some reason the window goes down. They'll give you a call.
Yeah.
Because that's what a BMW customer wants and expects.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we always felt we were part of their whole lives. You call me up anytime you like. Call me up at 2 o'clock in the morning because people had very direct access to us as well.
Yeah.
So it's a 24-hour a day job as well.
But I'm sure that then cultivates sales going forward. Because
Absolutely.
They're not going to.
You have the loyalty of the whole family.
Yeah.
Husband, wife, daughters, children as it grew up. And that was part of the marketing.
And friends and family,
Whatever it was, they were going to recommend you.
Exactly.
We had to make sure we didn't let you down in any department to it.
Yeah.
And part of it, what it was, I mentioned to people that we in the business of BMW, which means very often people are happy to sell new cars, etc. We don't. We trade everything. We keep everything. We don't trade our cars out to traders. So we dictate the value of the used car. We're not reliant on who's going to pay what for a particular motor car. We do it ourselves. I don't know if you've seen at the entrance to the site, we've got the used car, what we call second tier outlet.
Yeah.
And it's that type of thing which is a massive advantage to us.
Which I can see is definitely,
that
working.
would work, yeah.
I mean, if you look at the size of this place, it just tells
It's a
you.
motor city.
Yeah.
It's not exactly the same, but for people that have been to the Welt in Munich, in Germany, and understand a little bit about what's actually going on there, the experience people have. It's one of the biggest tourist attractions if you go to Munich, and those are the type of things which we subscribe to. And we'd already started this, but then that adds a little bit to it as well.
Yeah.
You had to have a destination. When people wake up on a Saturday morning, people think, what are you going to do? What should I do? You can come here. There's always something happening here, whatever it actually might be. So that's what and in that as well, we created a very specific focus within each department. Because we were the first to do the Mini as well. That Mini there is also the benchmark for the world.
Right. Okay.
When it was the first standalone as such in South Africa. It was designed in Germany, the same as this was designed in Germany. So the people within there have a very specific focus on that individual client base.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously this doesn't happen overnight. This is obviously built up over a number of years.
Yes.
Now, you've mentioned that the Mini was the first setting the standalone, the standard for standalone, and so on. In terms of coming up with concepts and going forward and working with BMW in Germany, is it driven from your side, or are they requesting you do it, or how?
No. We do our own thing.
Okay.
BMW have been very receptive to our thought process, and they've been very supportive of that. Obviously, they've got their standards, so we might think of a nice new showroom here. Obviously, the designers their concept is very, very different. Hence, you see something like this. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, it is amazing.
It is a really, really nice place.
To make that look like a racetrack is
absolutely
genius.
Yeah. And it's not, it's a racetrack, and then, the idea of the bulkhead there is you're actually coming into a building.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's all. It's that type of thing. So, they're very, very creative in their thought processes.
Yeah.
What was your first car?
The first car you bought, though, not handed down or something.
Yeah.
The first you paid actual money for.
A Datsun Triple X.
Oh yeah.
No way.
It was I just come out the army.
Yeah.
It was the best I could do, And it was a very exciting car at the point in time.
Yeah, those Triple S's.
It was running against cars like the Renaults and
Yes.
things like that at the time. Yeah, it was.
You still occasionally see those things running around as well.
Yeah.
Quite a community that they have there.
Funny enough, all of that was very short-lived, and I bought a 528 second-hand.
Okay.
Somebody phoned and said, "We just traded this. Would you like to see it?"
Yeah.
It was great, and it was just a fantastic car.
Brilliant.
And that was my introduction.
That was your intro to BMW
Never looked
528.
back.
Yes.
Yeah. But funny enough, we actually own a Datsun race car. That's,
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah. So when a new M car gets launched, I assume perhaps that collectors who are well known to BMW sort of get first option. Is that accurate?
You know, the enthusiasts, and with what happens on the webs today, your real petrol head is so jacked up.
Yeah.
And very often they know what's happening even before you did. You know, they live in that environment, and whoever's got the contact with the contact, and they got a very good idea of what's actually coming. So they could arrive on the floor and say, "What about this? What are you talking about?" but they know exactly.
They know
what's
already.
coming.
So they get on the list pretty quickly.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. You know, as you saw with things like the M2 and things like that, I don't know how you're ever going to satisfy that demand.
Yeah. Because obviously that car is not actually limited. It's not a limited production. But I see that your first allocation got sold out long time ago, and I imagine the second allocation
Yes.
is.
I think, you know, we're working with BMW on this at the moment, but South Africa, relative to the BMW world, you know, we get a specific allocation of cars.
Yeah.
And you know, that has to grow because this particular market, so it's not, if your cars are X and your M's form 10% of it, you have to look at what's happening particularly in South Africa, and the allocation of those vehicles from overseas has got to be a lot greater than it actually is.
Yeah, absolutely. So, obviously there's a bit of a racetrack theme going on here. Have you yourself ever partaken in any track days or motorsport or anything like that?
I haven't raced cars, but obviously I've been to the track a few times in different vehicles, and I've done it, the advanced course twice in the 5, which is, I possibly rather have done it in a car of my own, or actually the M. The M4.
The M4, okay.
Which I really enjoyed it.
And was that at Swartkops at the M Performance Centre you've got there? Because that whole place has been revamped, it seems.
Yes, it is.
They've got quite a nice showroom looking vibe going on there.
Well, you know, if I did the full day courses, so you know, you do the track stuff in the morning, and then in the afternoon you do the skip there, spinning the cars, controlling and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a very different experience, you know, because people think they know how to drive the car or what the car's capabilities are. You've got no idea until you actually go there. Well, you know, the braking and all that sort of stuff. Nobody ever gets it right.
Yeah, that braking predictor is always entertaining to watch as people try and work
exponential factors that come into play with it.
So who's your favourite motoring personality?
Are you talking about a local individual? You're talking about an
local,
overseas?
International, whoever you enjoy?
Racing driver, anything in the world of motoring.
For me, I like the English guy at the moment.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
Which one in particular?
I was just thinking of his name as you asked. The young guy who goes out with the singer.
Lewis.
Yes.
Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton.
Yes.
Okay. Because I enjoy guys that have really, you know, they haven't come in at this level of the industry. They've really grown through ranks and proved themselves and really got to where they have because of their abilities.
Yeah.
And then I was going to say, as a local guy, was probably somebody like Christo.
Okay.
You know, I've been through with all types of vehicles.
Yeah. You've gone through the
where he's basically been doing stock cars in the old days. But his passion for the cars is just unbelievable. You know, and I mean, this was more than 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And it's just great what he actually does and what he's capable of.
Yeah,
But you guys seem to have a lot of energy, so it must keep you going. I mean, you can't hate what you do to have this much passion.
Yes, but it's also, it's a, people say, you subscribe to the brand and things like that. I think it's, it's also the belief in the brand, and we genuinely believe if I sell you that motor car, I'm selling you the best car on the road, the best car in the world, because it just is truly fantastic. So it's not a sales pitch. We believe in that.
Yeah. Well, you can't create something like this without that
belief.
No. And customer satisfaction and all that is really, really very important to us. It's a very personal thing.
Yeah.
We don't like unhappy customers.
Yeah.
We deal with any issue because things do happen.
Of course.
We will take personal ownership of that, and we will ensure you sort it out without question.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's why people keep coming back.
That's exactly.
And that's why you can build something like this.
Yes. And I don't know if Krista mentioned to you, but yesterday was one of the first open days as such that we've had.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
For a public holiday, the showroom was just absolutely packed.
Oh, really?
There weren't enough salespeople to deal with whoever, and Krista was part of that. They were running the whole day. What a surprise.
Yeah.
But people now understand or heard about this, and they're coming from all over.
Yeah.
It's a well worth drive.
Oh, definitely is.
You come in here and experience something like this, it really is awesome.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Right.
Brilliant.
I think that's us. Rob,
It's a
thank you
pleasure.
very much for your
It's
time.
a pleasure. I don't know if you got all what you wanted.
No, we've got everything.
As
This
I
is
say, this
perfect.
was a bit of a... Oh, okay, I'll
You
go
thought
do
we were
that.
making cufflinks.
Yeah.
I did.